Dating the wrong person doesn't just waste your time. It rewires your brain to accept less than you deserve. I spent years letting the wrong people into my life, and it nearly destroyed my self-worth. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the 4 most dangerous personality types that masquerade as potential partners that you may be thinking of. This isn't simply dating advice that's preaching and you're going to walk away with nothing. No, this is emotional self-defense, and it will help you walk away without the scars and mistakes that I made. These 4 types of people that I personally know won't just disappoint you. They'll systematically erode your confidence and leave you questioning your own reality and steal you from that life partner you've always wanted. I learned these patterns the hard way, so you don't have to. Now let's get right into it. Type 1, the receptionist. You know the type. Always smiling, extremely pleasant, masters of small talk, but somehow you never get past the surface level with them. So I call them the receptionist as a great analogy because they're always on duty, always professional, always giving you everything they got. And it's a form of manipulation, but never letting you into the back office where the real stuff happens. Although this is just platonic and this is just a friend thing, I remember a guy, mate, who was always like this. He was incredibly cheery, charming, charismatic, comical, and very positive. Everyone loved him because he was so nice. I fell in love with him as a friend straight away. But then came the day we did psychedelics, mushrooms, and we did this together. Now, as a highly sensitive person, I don't do well with this stuff anyway, but I was observing my environment, again, very hyper vigilant to this, and I noticed something. It was like meeting a completely different person when those mushrooms went in. The mask dropped entirely. He turned into an absolute asshole, name-calling, conniving, revealing a personality trait that felt like a con artist, and that had been hiding away underneath that facade for so long. And this is what the receptionist types do. They avoid vulnerability at all costs. And when you try to talk about grief or deep emotions or feeling something emotionally, just watch how quickly they change the topic. They divert. They use deflective humor constantly. They're never checking in with how you're actually feeling. Their conversations revolve around gossip, events, material things, achievements, the outer world, and never the inner. You'll also notice they assign authority to others based on achievements and external metrics, not character or inner qualities, and they won't see that in you. But to be more empathic here, the counter-argument is that some people do this to protect themselves, and I get that. It's a shell, it's a guard. And maybe they practice tiered vulnerability disclosure, which I highly recommend, revealing themselves slowly in presence of threat or new people. Or let's flip the script, they perhaps view you as some kind of threat as well. But if this pattern persists months into knowing them, what you're seeing is who they are, someone incapable of genuine depth and connection. So be wary. Dating a receptionist means never truly knowing the person you're with, and that's a recipe for painful surprises later down the road that I personally experienced. Type number 2, the Schadenfreude Specialist. Now, you may be new to this term, but it's a brilliant German word, which basically means the person takes satisfaction in others' pain and misfortune. What they do is use a tactic that cuts others down in order to make themselves feel less insecure and make you feel less significant. It's a power dynamic, and you'll catch them doing things like laughing when they see police roughing up peaceful protesters on the news, or making jovial comments about an Olympian's looks, or they quite literally get a hit of pleasure from witnessing other people's humiliation. And now this is a very dangerous person or relationship to get involved in because it changes how you perceive the world and your place in it. You'll start playing small out of fear of their judgment. You'll become less vulnerable because vulnerability isn't safe with them. You'll develop insecurities that never needed to exist in the first place. These people gain their sense of power through embarrassing others to make themselves appear bigger by comparison. It's a deeply unhealthy dynamic that will eventually be turned on you. Think about it. Do you want to be with someone who secretly hopes you'll fail so that they can feel better about themselves, or someone who genuinely celebrates your victories and supports you when you're down? The answer should be obvious. Number 3, the competitor. The third type to avoid is people who are constantly competitive with you. These people are only concerned with I, mine, I did. They consistently turn conversations away from your accomplishments because they see attention as a scarce resource that must always be directed toward them. Here's how it plays out. You share something about yourself and they're not really listening, but they're just waiting for an opportunity to relate in a way that turns the tables. That instant. For example, you mention being laid off from your job and they respond, "Oh, too bad about your job. I remember when I had to do door-to-door sales for years. My life turned around when I made my first 10K in 1 month. That's why I don't do corporate." Notice what's missing. There's never a follow-up. So how was that for you? How did you feel about that? There's a complete lack of true empathy. So even though the topic might seem relevant, it actually belittles your experience. And that's what's confusing. Their distorted self-concept and superiority complex, their belief that they're great and better than others, makes you feel like you should be achieving something and that everyone, just like them, should find it easy too. Dating a competitor means constantly feeling inadequate, always being compared, and never having your experiences validated on their own terms. It's exhausting and ultimately destructive to your self-worth. Now the fourth, and I'll leave you with the least favourite, the seducer. So the seduction is natural and healthy in early stages of dating, as I said, but some people never move beyond it. They maintain an air of mystery, like a Rubik's Cube you can't figure out, and sexual tension, not to build intimacy, but to keep you hooked, keep you under control. These people are essentially experts at sexual exploitation. They take advantage of your hot states, and I love this concept. Those moments when you're turned on, always guessing, or attached to their mystery. Now in those states, scarily, you become confused and irrational in your thinking and in your decision making and doing things that you wouldn't normally do in a calm, cold state. The result is that you'll be drawn into a performative relationship rather than developing something deep and authentic. And this creates anxiety because you probably constantly try to meet some unspoken standard, particularly in the bedroom. You're always second guessing if you're exciting enough or good enough. Kept on edge because you feel potentially disposable. People who maintain this seductive nature typically have a flirty approach to everyone, which raises the same question. Is that easy to trust? Can someone who's always on the prowl truly commit to you alone? This continuous uncertainty creates anxious attachment. It keeps you in a state of emotional dependency and exactly where they want you. It's manipulation disguised as passion. So there you have it. 4 types of people to avoid dating. The receptionist, all surface, no depth. The Schadenfreude Specialist, finding joy in others' pain. The competitor, turning every interaction into a contest. 4, the seducer, maintaining mystery to manipulate, not connect. Now, it's important to note that most people show these traits occasionally, and we're not perfect. We all have our moments, of course. The red flag is when these behaviors form a consistent pattern, when they represent someone's default way of relating to others. If you recognize someone you're dating in these descriptions, it might be time for an honest conversation about how their behavior is affecting you. And if nothing changes, it might be time to move on. Remember, healthy relationships involve mutual vulnerability, genuine empathy, collaboration, rather than competition, and authentic connection instead of manipulation. Don't compromise on these essentials. You deserve a relationship that helps you grow, not one that diminishes who you are. Now, if you found this video useful or helpful in any way, it really helps if you just drop a subscribe, like the video, share it with a mate, drop that bell icon so you don't miss out on the next video about relationships. Now, please drop a comment below, join the conversation if you've ever graced yourself across any of these people or relationship dynamics before. Thanks again for watching and spending your precious time. I'll be seeing you in the next video.